Good evening, everyone. Jose J. Garcia, real estate investor, coach, and mentor. So every Sunday, 8 p.m. EST time, we have the coaching where we coach different topics, always about adding value, helping any and everybody out, building that community. That is our goal, is to build our community bigger and just be for each other, help each other, and win successful together. That's the goal. So stay towards the end. We will announce a couple events that are coming up. Also, there is one event less than a week away, so stay tuned for that. We'll break that one down some also, and as part of the opportunity we're going to be talking about tonight. Well, I wanted to have this call tonight a little bit differently. A Q&A is coming. A couple emails came through on that as to, hey, reminder, are we having a Q&A? Keep on sending your emails. Remember, a lot of times what we're going to do is create reels or just email you back. So, you're going to get an answer to your question, promptly. When we try to answer these as quickly as we can. And most times what we do is we create reels, shorts to put them on YouTube or our social media so that it answers for everybody. Again, it's all about everybody adding value. So, but today it is a special day for me. It will be a special day for me forever to come. Not only is it 2 days away from July 4th, which is a great holiday, one we definitely will be talking about on Tuesday. We will be live on Tuesday also for that. But 3 years ago, this is what I want to talk about, and it's because it's motivation. It motivates me when I think about it still. I think about it like it was yesterday. And this is going to be for a lot of people that are on that verge of, or already, I hate my job. Another day at the job. That feeling comes Sunday night of tomorrow's Monday. Friday, it's TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. It means you got the clock out and you got the heck out of there. But you're celebrating Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, you're regretting going back Monday. But come Monday morning, you're back at work. J-O-B, just over broke. It's going to be real, motivational. Okay. 3 years ago, I decided to leave my corporate job, because I, like most people, hated my job. The thought of driving an hour to sit in a cubicle, it's going to be real. It was a disgust feeling. I felt my life was just dooming, just sitting there, God, again. And you're dealing with people, the neediness, and you're trying to build something for yourself. You're trying to provide for your families. That's all good and all. That you should, especially you should always be doing the best at what you can, no matter what you do. I'm not going to take that away. And it does not matter where you're at. Do the best, give your 100% each and every day. But there's a fine line between giving your all and settling, or getting comfortable, or being afraid. And those are the trios of why people stick to where they're at. And I did so for years. And something had to change. A door had to shut for me to say, that's enough of that. I may even share the dog story. I love the dog story with you at the end, that a dear mentor, my first mentor, told me. But here's the story, okay? I started working in a corporate job. It's actually one of the largest logistics integrated companies in America. Now they're probably close to worldwide. I know they're in Canada, they're in Mexico, they're in Puerto Rico. I mean, it's a great company for what it is. It's massive. Okay, it's managing, handling, transportation. I mean, they got trucks, fleets, etc. And I was involved in all this, and I was good. I was good at what I did, which is why I was able to move up the chains, up the ladder without a real degree. I had no degree, no diploma. Okay. But a lot of times, more times than not, people want skill. Show me you can do the job. You can have a PhD, a master's, all kinds of things, but you're not really dependable. You can't really handle the job. Whatever. So my goal was, I saw somehow financial freedom there. This is the way to go, because obviously important people, successful people, this is what they do. They work up their way up the ladder. They make more money. They get to live life happily ever after. They enjoy more time off. The list of this wishful thought just kept growing. Far from. I'm talking complete opposite of that. The more I would move up the ladder, the more responsibilities, the more time I had to work, the more things I had to handle, and the pay wasn't really even justified. I mean, I remember from one to the next, which took me a lot. That took me almost 2 years to climb up that next level. I went from manager level 1 to manager level 2. And it's like, I think there was a pay raise of like $4,500. And they feed you this story of, you're getting paid great money for what you do, $50,000. Now, When I start talking about these numbers, I am not offending anybody. Again, do what you need to do, but always be looking for a better. How do I better my today by changing my tomorrow? I always got to be thinking it. I'm never settled. I'm never comfortable. We do great in the business we have today, but I see a lot more. I'm far from done. So taking that next level into managing meant so many more responsibilities that really at one point it wasn't that I couldn't handle. I didn't want these. I didn't want these things to constantly everyday dealing. I mean, getting called at midnight. My wife would sit there and hear these phone calls, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, just ringing. I could not turn my ringer off because there may be an issue out on the road. That was part of my job. Handle your job, right? That's what they tell you. I handle my job, sure. But I kept pushing. Let me keep pushing. So let me just get to the next, and they'll tell you this. It's like, well, the harder you go, the easier it gets, the less of this. Again, it's not the way it works. Sure, I kept pushing. So I got to the next level and the next level. And then that's happening throughout years now. Okay. And I was at that point now where I'm multiple levels into management at this company. I'm not going to say its name. Company that I was with. Some of you people on here know what I'm talking about. You may even be some of my previous employees. At the last level where I was with them, I had 72 drivers, CDL drivers. I had 6 supervisors under me. You're talking about responsibility. Okay. Now think about employees. I'm not talking bad about anybody. They don't like to work. They don't like to show up. They like to be late. They don't like to do what they're supposed to. These are all your responsibilities because you're in charge. Remember that. They're paying you great money. Here goes again that reminder. Don't forget, y'all get paid great money for what you do. When I left, I was making around 67,000 a year. Okay, 67,000 a year. Now, what changed? What made me finally say that's enough of this? All throughout, I've always felt, and I share this story, by the way. If you follow our social media, we have mobile home confessions and cars, and that's where I get to tell my story from child upbringings to. I hope you check out the last episode. That's what it's going to be about. But I've always felt like I'm destined for more, to help people, to make changes, to give back, to somehow contribute, not just be in a cubicle. That's great. But there's more. There's more to that. And I'm always looking for something else, some way to lead, to challenge myself. So, but I felt safe. There's a paycheck every week. I don't have to, I think it was actually every other week or something like that. There's a salary that they just deposited money in there. And it was there. So I was grateful for having money. I was grateful for having a job. That's what it is. It's a job. But as safe as I felt, at this point, I'm starting to invest. I was already investing, getting into different things, real estate, checking it out. I even sold cars for a little while. We did pretty good with that until I had to transfer accounts, etc. And then it was more like, I got to get into something that gives me constantly money. What do I get into? Okay. And again, I share more of the story in my last episode of Confessions. But I started looking into real estate. I started looking into mobile homes, just kind of came in and clicked somewhere. Somebody mentioned them, easier way to get into, low risk, low entry, high rewards. Sounds like a dream, but it ended up being such. We'll talk about that in a minute. So got into that, started doing it, and started, if you know my story, I did one mobile home. It moved on to 10 mobile homes that first year, which was 10 rentals. I was doing all this work by myself while being a manager at that position, while still being a father, while being married. Okay, all these things are happening, pushing, pushing, pushing. You start seeing less and less light at the end. Is what happens. The blackness starting to overgrow the light, as it seems like many times. Doubting yourself, you're worried, you're concerned. It's just, oh my gosh. Right about this time, okay, I kept doing all these investments, different strategies. I should have quit a lot longer than I did. And I look back and I think about my mentor, what he said, Jay, when you quit, you're going to look back years later and say, what took you so long? What were you waiting? Comfortable, okay, and afraid. That's what it was. Afraid if I leave it, then I don't get a paycheck securely. What if this investing that I'm doing doesn't really work out, or I can't find a deal, or all these what ifs, right? But in there somewhere, you got to have a what if it does work. Okay, you got to push for that. So kept doing it, kept going. COVID happened. 2020, we remember back as COVID as if it was yesterday, right? COVID happened, and well, technically we move fleet, we have drivers, we're more necessity. Well, that's fine and all, but the thing was that in the account that I was at, the stuff that we moved was not necessity. It was furniture. We were working for one of the largest distribution furniture company, beautiful furniture, but nobody needs furniture. It's COVID time, right? So now what? So we're sitting there working a little bit less, a little bit less. Now we're on a set salary, so we're kind of quotations lucky. Lucky only lasts for so long. Sure enough, we get a letter just out of nowhere. You are furloughed. In case you don't know what furloughed means is because of a shortage of production or they can feed whatever they want, is you are being let go. So now we will call you back when the business picks back up. We're able to pay you, really is what they're saying. And we'll call you back then. Until then, you have no pay. You know, it is said that most of Americans have less than $400 in their bank account. Most of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Most of Americans are one paycheck away from being broke. These things, I'm saying them because they're unfortunate. We deserve better than that. I wasn't at that position. Thank goodness we had our investments they were doing. We had some savings, but it was that reality check of where's your safety now? Where's the safety that this job that I've been working so hard for years, they say I've been making millions. I don't have any millions, not from them, right? So they let us go, just like that, snap of fingers. No real warning, but a letter. Couldn't even tell me, okay? So there I am, worried, concerned, reaching out to my mentors, my coaches. Like, what do I do? You know, this fear. The fear is there, but it's real now. It's not a what if anymore. They basically said, double up. Well, what are you worried about your job? You ain't got that no more. Forget about that. Worry about what you do have and multiply that. I ran with it. Let's do it. Well, technically, I have 80 hours more now because I'm not there. Cubicle is empty. So, okay, let's do it. I started getting deals, connections, traveling. I mean, just making all these connections and deals. And it was just like they were just pouring to a point where now I was hiring VAs, getting more and more. I mean, it's just like, wow. And it's because a lot of times you don't see what you're missing out on because you keep that door closed. A door has to close for you to say or see something different. And that's what happened there. 6 weeks went by. I'm blissfully, I thank God, killing it. I'm killing it out there, making deals, wholesales, flips. I mean, I'm learning new strategies. I didn't know I could create my own strategies. That's where all these strategies I've been teaching people about. Airbnb, Section 8, veteran assistance, elderly housing, all those came from downtime. Let me figure out more and more streams of income. 6 weeks later, now they call us. It ain't a letter no more. Here's a letter of you're let being go. Furlough, we don't really want to tell you face to face, okay? But now that it's time to get you back because productivity is picking back up, okay, for what it was. So they call me back. Jay, hey, we're going to be starting next Monday. I think it was like a Wednesday or Thursday. Next Monday, just go ahead and be back in the office at 6 in the morning. We're excited. We're back to going. I wasn't excited. Excited for what? But the fear was still there. Some of it. All the success was happening, but I was still scared. What if? Just that daunting what if. And you know, we grow up with those what ifs. We grow up with people that always have that fear and we can't help but to have it. I went back. Yes, I went back that Monday, 6 in the morning. I remember I had an attitude though. I had that thought again of I'm back here again. Like, this is no way. Like, okay, I just roll with it. Roll with the punches. Sometimes you got to go. So I did. I was there Monday and I'm doing my job again. You know, something about when you start making a lot more money than you're being paid for, you don't really see the need for it. Not being ungrateful, but you're paying me $67,000 a year. And okay, not saying this to brag, we made $30,000 last week. So I don't see why I want to stay in here. Because now, and this is another thing that my coach said to me was, you leave your day job as an investor, as an entrepreneur, as a businessman, when that day job starts taking away from you. So there's nothing wrong with having a day job. And I teach a lot of investors, and some of them don't want excessive deals and flips and wholesales and all this. They're like, Jay, if I can do 5 a year, you know, it's fine. That's what I'm looking for. Just a little extra passive. Good for you. There's nothing wrong with that. And some of those are teachers. You got to contribute somehow. I won't get into that. And that's fine. But it's like always looking for more. I don't even know where I was going with that. I'm getting excited, thinking about more and more. But I lasted about 3 to 4 weeks. I was just fed up. Oh, my coach mentor was saying it will cost you. And that's what it was doing. Suddenly, all this traveling that I was doing, all this networking, all these deals, because I was able to connect with the park operators and different business people. And they were like, why don't you come by tomorrow night or one of these days if you're in the area? We're talking about I was driving different states. I don't care. I wanted to make these connections. How bad do you want it? I wanted it bad and I wanted to grow. So they would say, come and meet. So I got nothing holding me back. I jump in my car, drive up there. We meet for some coffee, maybe for lunch. There's some more deals. There's some more connections. See how beautiful that is. But I'm back in this job. And now they're saying, hey, Jay, why don't you come back up here? We want to introduce you to another partner of ours. Oh, I can't. I have a job. So what do? I send an email. Hey, I'm requesting to be off tomorrow because I have an event happening for this, that, etc. Their email response was, we cannot grant you access to that. Nothing else. I missed that connection. I missed another connection. And I missed another connection. 3 connections back to back. Ended up getting those connections later, by the way. But I missed them because I was trying to hold on to something that was no longer good for me. It was holding me back. It was really costing me money at that point. The revenue that we had done in those 6 weeks was starting to dip back down. Down. For what? For a $60,000 salary. I'm going to wrap it up. Okay. I called that day, that last day. It was one more connection, and it was a connection I was not going to miss. It didn't matter. I even started about playing. Let me play. I'm sick. I need to go home. I don't feel well. I said, no, I'm not playing none of that. I'm going to be real and transparent. Is what it is. That's it. I give them a call. I came in. I was there for about 3 hours. I remember one manager was out of town at another account. Supervisor wasn't there. I was the only one there. And I called them both. I said, hey, so I got things happening. Y'all know I'm building this business. I've started multiplying. We're growing. And, I'm not going to share a whole lot more details. Basically, the reason I'm calling you is to tell you that I will no longer be working here. I'm packing up my things here. And when I'm leaving, oh, suddenly, no, we need you with this or that. Suddenly, they could give me a pay raise. They could grant me days off. They could this. My mind was set. I don't need this. I don't want this. So I left. I got calls and we'll give you a $10,000 bonus and with this and that. Funny how that works now that I'm gone. Now, you see the need for me. Now you value me a little bit more. Then it didn't matter. I left. I left. That was July 2nd, 2020. I went by a restaurant and I had a sandwich. That sandwich never tasted so good. It was freedom. I don't need this. Was I scared? Was I worried? Absolutely. I made a video of this, by the way, as I was leaving the distribution center. I was like, no way. Leaving has been the best thing for me for many reasons. Number one is freedom. Okay. I'm going to talk about how you can create freedom here in a few minutes. It may go a little bit over 8:30. But it's, that freedom to be able to do things. Hey, my son's got a soccer game. I know we got this thing happening, but anyway, I can take him. No, not today. So short, simple. They don't care what is right now. You get off, but all right. Hey, my wife and them are taking a vacation. Can I do this? And this is just a couple of things. Okay. No, we got this big operation happening. You'll have to schedule for another day. I work for $67,000 a year to be told what to do, when I can do it, when I can take off, just on and on. And it's not even 80 hours a week because you're being called after, at that level of management, you're considered to be in charge again. So 2 in the morning, you're getting a phone call. 4 in the morning, you're getting a phone call if you need it. And 6 in the morning, well, you better be in the office because you're already up anyway. Right? Love it. No more. So we left out of there. Since I left out of there, we multiplied business. I mean, just skyrocketed, just up. And here goes my mentor. I'm listening to my mentor, just replaying the words. Why were you waiting so long? What was it about it? It was the fear. It was the fear of the unknown. And that's what some of us have is, I don't know if it'll work out. Okay. Since leaving, we're doing, and challenge yourself. We were taking vacations. I remember this thing I used to do, Now when we take vacations, I want to make it about my family, my wife, my son. It's about that time. I've learned now, years later, it took me a while. Put the phone down. They're texting, they're calling. Good. I'm not an employee. I will get to those things. But right now, this weekend, it's about the family. But beforehand, I had a challenge and I love this. We would go for a week out to the beach, let's say, okay? And I'll list one of those, Panama City. We would go there and I had a challenge for myself. How good are you really? How good can you become? My goal was to, can I get down there only in the mornings from 6 in the morning to noon because the rest of the day was for family? Can I find a deal while I'm there, a mobile home deal? Can I lock it up and can I flip it? Can I wholesale it? Took me about 2, 3 tries, and then it started happening. I would go down on vacation. You spend money on vacation, that's a given. And I would lock up a deal. Monday, first thing, I had already scoped the area, found them, lock it up. Yes, it's a good deal. I reviewed it. By Wednesday, Thursday, I was flipping that as a wholesale, 5, 10,000, whatever it was. It wasn't even the money, though that was great. It was more of the win. I'm out here on vacation, enjoying my time. I can do this if I want or not want. I'm not really on a time schedule, clocking in and out, and I'm putting deals. It got to a point where I was doing 3 to 5 in a week's time. Get better. One thing about when you're doing things over and over is you can't help but to get a little better, and it just starts getting a little simpler and a little easier. So we started doing that. Talk about going on vacation and coming back with money. That's a good day. That's a good week. Okay. I'm sharing all these things with you because it is possible. It is possible for each and every one of us. Okay. If you listen to, again, Mobile Home Life's Confessions, you hear my story. If I can do it, all of you can do it. I assure you that. So many investors I teach, I mean, y'all are brilliant. Okay. You have degrees. You already have success. You have the right mind set. Do it. Get out of that sideline. Get rid of that fear. Okay. Fear will be there, but fear should grow you, not trick you from doing things. Right. I'll go through these, a couple of these comments here in a minute. So let me see. So let's talk about real quick. Okay. So how do you leave your day job? Don't. Okay. If you're just new onto this, you have no investments, you've never done this. I'm not telling you go tell your boss to shove it up there tomorrow. Don't do that. Okay. Make sure that you build wealth enough to replace at minimum. You want to make sure that you're making at least enough of what you're making on a monthly. And I mean, do your math, guys, ladies. How much do I spend? Necessities. How much do I spend in a month's time? Let's see, there's the house payment or rent, either or. There's utilities, there's groceries, there's gas, there's traveling, there's this, there's that. Add them all together. Okay. Sound like an advisor suddenly. So I put all these things together and come up with a total of sum. On a best case scenario, here's what it looks like. On a worst case scenario, is what it looks like. And on a most likely, here's what it looks like, right? Let's say you need to live off $5,000. $5,000 is what I need, okay? Well, then how would you do that using mobile homes? Because that's what I teach and coach. This is what I do, mobile home investing. How many mobile homes would I need? Let's reverse engineer those numbers so that we can come up with a solution. On average, we're into a mobile home for about 7,000 to 9,000. That's all in the mobile home, okay? The labor, rehab material, everything, all into the mobile home. It is ready to go back on the market as a flip or as a rental. On average, we collect anywhere from $350 to about $500 a month per home. Average, let's just say $400 across the board. So we keep the number simple. If one mobile home brings me $400 a month as passive, how many of those $400 a month mobile homes would I need? 12. 12 mobile homes equals 4,800. You see, it's not going to happen overnight. It may. Some of you may have enough savings, enough credit cards, enough lenders, JV partners, whatever it may be, that you can do a multiple. And then you also have goals to that. I should be able to do one mobile home a month, right? Because don't forget that it's not just rentals. It's not just flips. There's also wholesale, which takes no money out of pocket. There's also being a connector. I'll simply, I'll connect with a big investor. I'll bring you deals. Just give me $500 per mobile home. I'll bring you as a deal, right? And you can do this with houses as well. So if every lead I find by simply scrolling through Facebook, social media, whatever it may be, you're going to pay me 500 each week equals $2,000 a month. Be creative, be driven, right? Forget about that Friday night drinking. We're going to make some money. Okay. Let's keep doing that math. $4,800. That's 12 mobile homes, each making 400. Again, that's average. Some may be 300, some may be 600. So it may take you less. But let's 12 mobile homes times $400 equals 4,800. $4,800 a month times 12 months equals right under $60,000. Is that somebody's salary? Is that somebody's replacement? Now, why stop there? That replaced my income. Okay. But I'm going to go ahead and do 2 or 3 more. Because when I leave this other job, now you're making this 60,000 plus your 40, 50, 60 on your day job. That's great. Now you've doubled up. But I need to get rid of that because you're doing this at a slow pace. But you'll know that you're getting quicker and quicker. But when you get rid of that job, you'll get a lot faster. You're going to start doing more and more. You're going to have a new good problem, and that's too many deals. There is too many freaking deals coming here. Some of you that join our Let's Do Deals on Tuesdays. Why do you think there's a spreadsheet with deals from me to y'all available? Because I can't invest in all of them. I can't rehab them all. I can't flip them all. I'm out there doing connections. We're coaching. We're mentoring. We're building relationships. We're building another business. We have 3 businesses already. We're multiplying strategies. I'm not complaining. We are blessed. But it gives me the ability to take so many of these deals and create what I do as a win-win-win situation. A seller has to sell their mobile home. That's fine. I'm going to make sure they sell. I'm going to find an investor that I can sell it to them because they're looking for one. So that's a win. And I'm going to get paid in between for the profit of making the connection or the wholesale. Win, win, win. How do you pay for rehabs? Well, I am getting ready to start investing. I love to invest and leave my day job too. I don't have any savings. I have maybe 5,000 at this time, not enough to get started. Start wholesaling. I just said that. I pay for my rehabs using wholesale. We do not dip into our bank accounts. I will not rehab. I will not invest in a mobile home out of our bank accounts. We have to do enough wholesales so that the wholesale fee that we get paid is going to turn around and pay for that rehab, and then another one, and then another one. So you see how you're able to do it faster. Hardest thing of any you do in life is always the first time. That's the true unknown. When you do that first one, it gets a little easier. Light bulb, like this works. This makes you money. You get some money. Then you do a wholesale in between doing the next rehab. Then you do another wholesale. Hey, I don't even need to come out of money. Okay. I hope this motivates you. Y'all want to hear the dog story? It's already 8:32. Drop a comment if you want to hear the dog story. I do want to talk about a couple advertisements. Okay. Talk about a couple advertisements. Somebody drops a comment on that you want to hear that story, which I typically only tell it at these shadow events. I'll be able to share it on here as well. Next Saturday, July 8th, we got myself and I, and Robert Bogino. We're going to be teaching about land, real estate properties with mobile homes. How do you convert mobile homes, which are personal property, into real estate property and are able to compound and grow value overnight? Okay, that is one more strategy. This is what I'm talking about. One of the differences between today and 7 years ago is that there was no J. There was nobody on YouTube just blabbering. Just let me hear some tips, some nuggets. Somebody I can send an email, they'll respond. There's none of that. Well, I try to make these things easier as a way of giving back. And all these strategies that we do is to help people, give back somehow. Anytime you give back, it always comes back. I believe in that. And Saturday is exactly that. We're not even charging for that event. I will be driving 2 hours to this event because this is what I love, to give back. When somebody says, Jay, I was able to quit my job last month, it has been great. Your strategies work. That's a blessing. I don't need payment for that. That's great. Good. Let me get somebody else out of there, and somebody else, one person at a time. Soon it'll be 10 people at a time. So Robert Bogino, that's going to be next Saturday. Tuesday, don't forget, I will host a call. I know it's July 4th. Watch the recording. I understand if y'all want to go watch some fireworks, that's cool. But I will be doing the deal pitching tomorrow morning. However, we're going to swap our days, which tomorrow we're going to be looking at inventory. Inventory, you should see quite a good bit of inventory by Tuesday in Central Georgia. So stay tuned for that as well. Vacant homes need rehab. We're also going to have homes that already have tenants that you can buy as an investor. We have the land properties we're going to be putting on the sheet as well. All right. So let me see the comments real quick, and then we will go. I will let you go. It's after 8:30. I know y'all stuck with me. Sometimes I just want to quit and make my business to care for my own business. Sometimes I just want to quit and make my business to take care of my business. Well, there's nothing to overthink. It can be done. And the fact that you're thinking it, it is possible. Do it. And it transfers. I want to pack it to my home. Do it. Don't start with 10 mobile homes. Start with one. Okay. Learn to walk before you run. Learn to crawl before you walk. That's fine. But when you do one, you go to the next and never settle. Okay. Absolutely. Good deal. Good deal. Awesome. Well, thank you all for joining me this evening. I hope to see you all next Saturday. Like I said, it's a free event. If you have not already RSVP, it is limited seats. It will not be hosted via Zoom virtual. It's only in person, but we will be able to connect with each and everyone out there and hopefully provide as much value as we can. That's what we do. All right. Thank you, Instagram, for watching this evening. We'll see you Tuesday night.